So in this video, we're going to do the open response questions from 2013, 14, 15 about angles. So 2013, number 31, 2014, number 31, and 2015, number 25. Now try to do these before you watch the videos, just so you could see the information that you have and the information that you're missing. So the one thing you need to know to solve this question is when you have a parallelogram, so these lines are parallel and these lines are parallel, the diagonal angles from each other will be equivalent, which means this angle and this angle and this angle and this angle will be the same. All four angles should add up to 360 degrees. So just remember the opposite angles, the ones that are diagonal from each other, they are equal in a parallelogram. They're the same, but consecutive angles, the ones beside each other, for example, this angle here and this angle, these two, they should add to 180 degrees. Because there's four sides, we know that the sum of the angles is 360. So based on this, there's a few ways we could solve for x. We can look at the consecutive angles. We know these two are consecutive angles, which means x would equal 180 take away 65. X would be equal to 115. Another way would be if you decided this was 65, you can subtract 130 from 360, because you know that's the total number of angles, and then you can divide that number by 115. So whichever one you're comfortable with or you remember. I'm going to put my justification. Consecutive. Oops. .180 degrees. So now I know that this is also 115 degrees. To solve for y, I can just focus on my triangle now. I know I have one angle. I want to see if I can get the other one. So I can remember two things to find this angle. I know this is a right angle triangle, so I'm okay with this angle, but this one over here, I need to solve. I can subtract the 115 from 180 because I know this is a straight line, or I can remember that if I have two parallel lines and one line intersects them, that these angles here will be the same. Just like that. So I know that this is 65 degrees. My sum of interior angles for a triangle is 180 degrees. So I can go 180, take away 90, take away 65. And that will give you 25 degrees. So to solve this question, I need to remember that my sum of interior angles for this quadrilateral that I have here is 360 degrees. And that's this shape right here. And it's important to remember that n is equal to the number of sides. And that will give me x. Let me go ahead and erase this so you could see when I solve y. So to solve y, it's a little tricky. I can remember that these are two parallel lines that are dissected by one line. And I know that this right here is 40 plus 75 degrees, which is 115 degrees. Based on its corresponding angle on this side, I know that this is 115 degrees, and this angle right here is supplementary to the 115 degrees, so it will be 180, 115, 65 degrees. We'll solve for x first. So one way you can do this is recognize that there is a Z pattern here, which means if this is 44 degrees, this is 44 degrees. Another way you can identify that is to extend the line and realize again that these four angles will be equivalent to these four. So you would know that this is 136 and 44, which would make x 136 degrees. And we know that again from 180, take away 44, 136 degrees. I'm going to write down for my justification C pattern and supplementary angles. For y, I know that this angle here and this angle here, y, are equal because these two lines are equivalent, because I could see the line, which means that both these angles together would add up to 136, because 136 is the opposite exterior angle. So I can do y is equal to 136 divided by 2. Y is equal to 68 degrees. And if I did forget that, I can just know that they're equal, and I can do 180, take away 44, divided by 2 is equal to y. Either way would work.